Robert Campbell was a merchant and pioneer settler who had sailed to Australia in 1798. After initially setting up an international trading business in Sydney, he was employed by Governor Bligh as a tax collector and eventually founded one of the colony's first banks. When in 1806 one of his ships was destroyed while in the possession of the government, Campbell was granted a piece of land along with 2,000 hectares as part of compensation. In 1833, Campbell commenced construction of his limestone cottage on a flat piece of land overlooking the Molonglo River. Campbell is said to have chosen the name Duntroon as it was the name of a relative's castle in Scotland that he enjoyed frequenting. Built by the hands of convicts who trekked from Sydney, Duntroon was constructed from local materials, as was a separate kitchen, scullery and servants' rooms. Testament to the appeal of the house, a Polish scientist, Dr. John Lotsky, whilst on an expedition to the Snowy Mountains, passed by the house in 1834 and wrote of Campbell's limestone cottage in his diary and was noted as saying, "Such a clean and romantic little house, overhung with vines and even window panes and such like comforts, as if it were the end of the world." It was not until after the death of Robert Campbell in 1846 that Duntroon developed into a fashionable country seat. Credit for this transformation is said to go to Robert's fourth son George and his wife Marianne. In 1862, a two-storey brick sandstone structure was attached to the original cottage. This new wing contained bedrooms, a study and a library. Further additions in 1876 saw the construction of a large conservatory at the rear of the property. Duntroon's now heritage-listed grounds were developed by Marianne, who took a keen interest in establishing a Victorian-style layout that included a large maze, copied from that at Hampton Court in London. The trees that still stand in the grounds of Duntroon House to this day were planted by Marianne and represent every country she visited. When George died in 1881, his eldest son took ownership of Duntroon, but on his passing a few years later, Marianne became the rightful owner. Further sadness for Marianne was the passing of her daughter, Sophia, aged 28, in 1885, who died as a result of a tragic accident. Her ghost has been seen throughout the house over many decades. On many occasions, windows have been mysteriously opened within locked rooms, and images of a young woman have been seen on the upper balcony of the mess. Despite such sadness in her life, Marianne continued to develop the property until she died in 1903. Due to the fact that the rest of Marianne and Robert's children resided in England, the house remained vacant until the scheduling of the disposal by a plant and furniture auction. The plant and furniture auction of the property's farming equipment and effects on the 31st of October 1906 was described by the auctioneers at the time as an exceptional opportunity. The advertisement of the disposal boasts of the luxurious nature of the furnishings and the other quality pieces that the Campbells had collected. After the auction, the house remained vacant until 1910, when Brigadier Bridges, the first Commandant of the Royal Military College, identified the land as a site for the soon-to-be-established military training area for officers. For over 100 years now, Duntroon House has served as the officers' mess, where all officers of the college have the pleasure of using at their disposal. The interior of the house has been kept in its original condition, and the bedrooms are still used for accommodation, as are the dining rooms for meals.